Well, excitement is definitely in the air here at Winter X Games, but it takes a lot more work for the pro riders to get where they are. We followed snowcross superstar Tucker Hibbert as he worked with Speedworks to get his sled all dialed in for the big race.
Hey, what's up? Tucker Hibbert here, Granby, Colorado. We're out here in a cow pasture testing for X Games, getting a little practice in, just getting the stuff dialed in.
Speedworks and the Monster Energy Arctic Cat team have come out to Colorado to test and practice for Winter X Games 13. Tucker has taken gold in snowcross at Winter X Games 3 times, in 2000, 2007, and in 2008. The pressure is on him to claim his 4th in a three-peat fashion.
He started racing, as early as he could when he was 12, 13 years old, and was able to get him into the X Games at age 15, which he wasn't even old enough to be a pro yet. And he won his first year there, so he made a very big impact, and he's raced it every year since then.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about X Games. I mean, every year that's kind of our peak of the season, We use all the other races as build up for the X Games event.
I used to watch him ride a lot and try to critique him, but that don't work anymore. He's way beyond me, so.
Kirk Hibbert is not only a legendary snowmobile racer and ace mechanic, he's also Tucker's dad.
I mean, I raced, professionally for most of my life, and I enjoy doing it, and so being able to work with my son has been great.
It's really cool, my dad and I have been able to work together a lot in the last few years, and I grew up going to the races with him when he was racing, and it was pretty fun to be able to grow up in that atmosphere, and I learned a lot. I think it's definitely made me a better competitor and racer today.
Well, the X Games is, I guess you could call it our Super Bowl or our World Series as far as snowmobile racing goes. It's a chance for us to showcase our sport in front of millions of people, not just in the U.S. and Canada, our normal audience, but all around the world.
Racing at X Games is quite a bit different than racing in the AMSOIL Championship Snowcross Series because of the extreme elevation differences.
The challenge for us is to get the engines tuned properly for this elevation. A two-stroke engine loses about 3% of its horsepower for every 1,000 foot of elevation that you go up.
Most of the time we're just tuning on sleds, and then they'll send me out with a sled and have me do a couple starts and then go out on the track for 5-10 laps and get a good feel for the clutching and the way the sled works, and see if it changes from the first few laps to the end of the lap, see if the sled gets a little lazy or anything. And if they're not needing me to go out and test something, I just get on the practice sled and go hammer out motos and just work on going faster, work on my technique and speed in the corners and different things.
Tucker is, I guess a good analogy would be like the Michael Jordan of basketball, or what Wayne Gretzky is to hockey. He's one of the premier riders to ever come along in the sport of snowcross. We have to make sure that his equipment is 100% all the time. He's always got a target on his back, and everyone would love to say that they beat Tucker Hibbert in a snowcross race.
Steve Wool at Speedworks and all the guys back in the shop have been working really hard the last few years to get us motors and setups that really work good. We've been dominating this year pretty good with not only myself but all the other Arctic Cat guys have been doing really well.
Yeah, Speedworks, we build all of Arctic Cat's race engines, and it's hard for me to work real close with all the drivers, but Tucker, we try to make sure that he's got a top-notch package to go out there with.
Not only is Tucker one of the best snowcross racers ever, but he is also an A1 groomer.
Yeah, I really enjoy driving the groomers. I've done it a lot. Coming out to places like this, testing and practicing, and it takes a lot of grooming to make a track realistic to what we race on. So I seem to be the guy in there driving all the time. And when the things break down, that's when it gets really frustrating. But other than that, it's pretty fun.
50% of the work is done on the snowmobiles, and 50% is done on the groomer maintenance. And whenever the groomer breaks, we blame it on Tucker.
You notice there's one sitting out here backed up over the bank with parts all tore off it right now. So
I'm always the one driving the groomer, so I guess it's my fault when it breaks. But every time it seems to be something silly that's not really anyone's fault. But yeah, it seems like we're just always working on groomers, trying to make them last and go long enough to get a track built and maintain it.
Well, I don't think you're ever ready, but we'll be ready when the green flag goes, I guess. But no, I'm feeling pretty good. I think we're ahead of where we've ever been as far as our setup and our testing. Sleds are working better than average, I guess, at this point. But just always got to keep working.
There are those who talk the talk, and those who ride the ride. Get the best deals of the season now at your Arctic Cat dealer.